In Nigeria, the simple and painful reason why elections have been rigged all the time is that those people who have been vested with the power of appointing the electoral officers have by themselves been contestants, either by themselves or their political parties or their preferred candidates. They have been contestants in the same elections in which they appointed those who are conducting the elections.
For those of you who don't know this man, his name is Ikechukwu Obiora. He was once a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You don't understand? So according to him for this video, I want to break it down so that you understand very well. So according to him in this video, this man they talk say the reason why we Nigerians know they experience free and fair election, the reason why our votes as Nigerians know they can't, the reason why the person we truly want to sit down there and respect our rights, the reason why these things know they happen is because the power to appoint INEC chairman, the power to appoint electoral commissioners is still within the reach of the presidents and the governors. And this is true, very true, very, very true. You saw the protest yesterday. I was there live. You saw it, how our rights were violated. We're not carrying anything, no, we don't carry anything, just our placards and our voices. Yet, these guys open fire at us. They shot at us yesterday. Just for raising our voices and raising our placard, free Nnamdi Kanu. You don't understand? So, the reason why all these things are happening, why the person we truly want is not sitting there, is because the elections in Nigeria are not free and fair. Because the election in Nigeria is not free and fair, as they call it. They say free and fair. It's not a free and fair election. The INEC is truly not independent. Now the presidency, they appoint the chairman. Like, not be news again. It's not a news that the president just appointed a new INEC chairman that will oversee the election of 2027. Now you go see the election of 2027. So tell me, if Tinubu appoints you as the INEC chairman, are you going to work against him? Person will appoint you your master, you're not going to work against him. Definitely you will work in favor of him. You see what he's saying here? Plain truth. Plain truth. You understand? But now, this man has just submitted a bill. He don't submit a bill to the National Assembly, seeking that power where the president gets to the appoint INEC chairman, that power where the governors get to the appoint electoral commissions, make them remove that power from them so that the election true will be free and fair. So that the INEC true will be independent body, just like they call it. You don't understand? The bill has been submitted already. So we now as Nigerians, all we need to do is to back this bill up. Make we stand and support this bill. Because this is the electoral reform that we Nigerians want. This is the only reason why our vote will count. This is the only reason why the person we truly want will sit down there. This is the only reason why our elections will be free and fair. The power to appoint the INEC chairman, the power to appoint electoral commissions should be removed from the president and the governors. For me, I would say all eyes on the House of Assembly so that this bill will go through. Bro, this is what we want at this point in time. God bless your heart. Watch the rest of the video.
It is the prolonged absence of honest elections that led inexorably to the mass poverty and gross underdevelopment we have in the country today. Because if the people had been exercising the power of honest vote since 1960, when we had independence till date, Nigeria in 2025 would have developed into a first world nation by all standards and in all ramifications. We would have been like Europe. The problem we have is that since independence, almost 90 to 95% of the elections have been outright stolen or rigged or perverted or thwarted or nullified. And that means that Nigerians have never really voluntarily chosen their leaders. Neither have Nigerians ever been governed with their consent. Absence of honest elections makes our democracy a fake democracy, period. In Nigeria, the simple and painful reason why elections have been rigged all the time is that those people who have been vested with the power of appointing the electoral officers have by themselves been contestants, either by themselves or their political parties or their preferred candidates. They have been contestants in the same elections in which they appointed those who are conducting the elections. And so permit me to inform you that although it is very, very important to make bimodal voter accreditation system and electronic transmission of results via IREV all legally mandatory in the conduct of our elections in Nigeria. But I'm sorry to disappoint you that BVAS and IREV cannot solve the problem of electoral rigging in Nigeria without the neutrality and impartiality of the electoral bodies. Because those systems are vulnerable to manipulation. All those who direct, plan, superintend election rigging in Nigeria are the top leadership of the electoral bodies, who working with the politicians, work aggressively to skew the elections in favor of the persons and the political parties under whose auspices they were appointed, and who stuck in their visceral determination and unshakable resolve to steal elections in favor of their masters, will bring to bear on their quest this particular information I just gave, that these systems, the IREB, BVAS, are susceptible to manipulation, and that they can even manufacture logistical problems, infrastructural and logistical problems, particularly internet connectivity and power supply disruptions, and then turn around and take benefit of those failures. That they can manipulate the back-end data. They can do that. And that they can engineer system dysfunction and malfunction and exploit the resulting glitches. Or that they can even decide not to transmit the elections, whatever you say in the law, because it's always a do or die game for them. They can decide not to transmit the result electronically or delay it until it is useless. All the point we're making is that VIVAS and IREB cannot help much with election integrity without the integrity of the electoral bodies. And you and I know that the existing electoral bodies today in Nigeria, at the federal, at the state levels, they are not working for honest elections. They are rigging elections in collusion with us politicians for the benefit of those who appointed them. And therefore, the only way to ensure impartial, neutral, honest, transparent, free and fair conduct of elections in Nigeria is to devise a means by which the electoral personnel, these electoral bodies and personnel, by which they are appointed independently of us politicians, especially the president and the governors. I'll say it again, that we must find a way to make sure that the president and the governors do not influence or direct the appointment of electoral officers. And so, in order to usher in the era of honest, transparent, free and fair elections nationwide under one independent, neutral, and unbiased electoral body, being inescapably the necessary and the only means we can lift Nigeria and our people, our brothers and sisters, out of poverty, and the only means with which we can reach the potentialities of God's endowment upon us, including taking our pride of place in the league of great and egalitarian nations. I do move a motion for constitutional amendment to provide for the establishment of a new, truly and literally independent National Electoral Commission charged with the conduct of all elections and for all elected offices. And that the new INEC be composed and constituted by 13 commissioners. 6 of the commissioners will be elected by the underlisted 6 Nigerian labor and professional organizations, and 6 commissioners will be nominated by the United Nations from across the world, and 1 commissioner observer will be nominated by Transparency International. That, I propose, will be our new INEC, for the first time appointed without the influence of us politicians. Of course, the new INEC will have the power to hire, to elect, and to remove their chairman, and to hire and fire all staff, including the Chief Executive Officer. The election of 6 commissioners by the underlisted 6 Nigerian labor and professional organizations is arranged on a concurrent, corresponding, alphabetical order. That is to say that the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Polytechnics will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the Northeast geopolitical zone. And the Academic Staff Union of Universities will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the North Central geopolitical zone. That the Institute of Chartered Accountants will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the Northwest geopolitical zone. That the Nigeria Bar Association will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the Southeast geopolitical zone. That the Nigerian Medical Association will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the Southwest geopolitical zone. That the Nigerian Union of Journalists will elect 1 commissioner out of its members from the South-South geopolitical zone. Politicians and those who have held political offices will not be qualified to be elected to serve in the new INEC. And the United Nations and Transparency International will not nominate a Nigerian or any person indigenous to Nigeria. Their own nominations will come from their staff. And it will be the responsibility of the president at the appropriate time to receive and collect the names and curriculum vitae of the nominees and nominees-elect for transmission to the National Assembly for confirmation. No commissioner-elect or nominated may be rejected except with the concurrent resolutions of the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Representatives, by resolutions supported by at least 2/3 majorities of the Senate, all senators, and 2/3 majorities of all honorable members of House of Representatives.